Let's do it live!
You guys are live.
Awesome. Hey, this is Aaron, and this is Todd, and we're CollectorMania doing a pack review for Netrunner's Blood and Water, most recent data pack. And we'll be going through the runner side first, and then there'll be a separate video for the corp side. So let's go ahead and start here. All right. Oh,
Yep.
do you want to? Okay.
All right.
So we got Alice Merchant, Clan Agitator. It's the runner ID in this pack. First time you make a successful run on archives this turn, the corp must crash one card from HQ. Which, yeah, that's pretty solid Anarch ID, I think.
Yep, she has 0 link. She has a minimum deck size of 50 and 15 influence, which is pretty standard 15. A bigger deck size.
But that's okay. There's a lot of goodies, I think, especially in the Mars cycle here.
Right.
It's okay to have a slightly larger deck and more stuff to throw in there.
Yeah, I was excited. You know, I mean, when I first got into this game, I was all about Anarchs. And lately I've been pretty much criminal only with my runners. I'm very stubborn, plus my daughter is always jinx all the shaper stuff, so I never really get a chance to do it, and so now it's just become a thing. So when I open up the pack and I see this, because I didn't really look at any spoilers, I was excited because that initial excitement for Anarch came through, and it seems like she's a pretty interesting character with because when you access the archives, they trash the card first, so you get to see what it is that they trash. So it's
because that's a successful run. So they trash, and then you grab it.
Right, absolutely.
So,
and then also then when you're corping against this runner, you're gonna have to ice up archives, which. A lot of people just prefer to leave it open or maybe put one piece of ice on it.
Yeah.
So it kind of changes, the strategy that you have to do as a corp.
Yeah, so she'll put the same pressure that Omar does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. I think that's good on her. All right. Jagger New Mercs, I think is how you pronounce that.
Jiraganu.
All right. Well,
Don't put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I will. So when you install these mercs, take one tag, place 3 power counters on these mercs, and 1 additional power counter for each tag you have. When there are no power counters left on these mercs, trash it. The corp cannot trash these mercs while there are other resources installed, and you can use those to power counters to prevent 1 meat damage.
Yep.
This is going to be Omar's buddies for the deck I have.
Okay.
Because using Joshua B, I want to just collect as many tags as I can so I can have a massive hand size.
Right.
These guys will then also prevent me from getting boomed to death.
Correct.
So.
Well, they are
Excited about
unique,
that.
so you can only have one installed at a time.
I only need 1 installed at a time.
Okay.
The other 2 can hang out in my hand if I draw on them.
Okay.
Just as soon as I take meat damage,
Cool.
use them and trash them.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any cards out right now that give you advantage for using subtype clan or anything like that?
Nothing off the top of my head. There probably is something where it's going to be coming soon,
Right.
but I remember the clans were sort of mentioned as being something big for this.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
But I haven't seen too much on that.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great card. Protection.
Yeah. Some of the best meat damage prevention that's in the game. So.
Okay, moving to blue.
All right. Well,
Okay.
take it away, Kreml.
All right. We've got Maui. I'm pretty sure that's how that's pronounced.
Yeah.
I think we're safe on this one. It's a console with 2 memory and then a variable reusable credits. Use these credits during runs on HQ. X is the number of pieces of ice protecting HQ. 1 console per player per usual. It's 2 influence and 5 credits to install.
Which for consoles, 5 credits is probably average.
Yeah.
And for a lot of the criminals out there, this is one of the best consoles.
Dude, I love this console. I am going to be making some changes to some of my 3 or 4 different criminal decks I've got and figure out which one I want to put this in the most. Obviously, Gabe, huge. This is huge for a Gabe deck.
Laramie,
yeah,
as well.
Yeah. This just helps.
Yeah.
I love anything that helps blue.
Well, and I mean, the Colonels basically just want to get into HQ.
Yeah,
that's
they really do.
their MO, and this just helps that immensely.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. This is a great console. I don't think there's much more to say about it.
Yeah, no, but I expect to see a lot of it in any criminal deck.
Why do I have two? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
because I've got two different. There we go.
Grab that.
Oh.
All right, so bug out bag. This is actually it's nifty.
Very.
It thematically, I guess it does fit best in criminal, but I see it going in shaper decks or like anyone that wants to run a Faust deck.
Mm-hmm.
This would be just great.
Yeah, 2 influence and a variable cost. Place X power counters on bug out when you install it. If you have no cards in your grip at the end of your turn, draw 1 card for each counter on bug out and then trash it.
Yeah, so if you're going to be blowing through cards in your hand, great way to make sure that you don't die the next turn.
Yep.
You know, Scorched Earth or, well, Boom's kind of unavoidable. But,
right. That was the thing.
So, actually, you might know, does this happen before or after you have to discard?
How do you mean?
So, at the end of your turn, draw 1 card for each counter on it.
Yes.
So, if you put 7 counters on there, but your hand size is limited to 5, do you then have to trash 2 cards, or?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be my assumption. That's not covered in the unofficial FAQ, I don't believe, but I'll check real quick. They do have a few things on bug out.
Yeah, because how it interacts with other things. You know, if you install multiple of them, since it's not unique, they all trigger.
Correct.
Interestingly, you can also use Fall Guy. It still triggers, but you don't trash it.
It's checked at the end of the turn instead of when the ability resolves. So, you know, it makes me think that because it's at the end of your turn that it triggers, that you get to keep the 7 cards until the following turn.
End of turn.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So play it that way for now, and hopefully there'll be official FAQ that'll solve that. But.
Well, and the other thing that is covered in there too, that I just you can use Fall Guy to prevent this.
You were looking.
And then you said it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay. I was paying attention to my reading.
Third time, Fall Guy keeps it from crashing.
Everything you need in case of an emergency is the flavor text on that.
Yeah, indeed.
Next we have Karos McIntyre. He's a resource, connection, 2 cost. The first time you de-res a piece of ice each turn, gain 2 credits. And then very long flavor text on this guy. Do you know who Moth is?
Nope.
I don't think I've ever seen flavor text from Moth again.
Well, we'll probably see Moth in the Mars cycle, maybe after.
Yeah, sometimes they play long game with this. I mean,
like Smoke.
Smoke was in the core set, and we didn't see her until just recently for a character playable. But excuse me. But yeah, it's so the first time you de-res an ice. Later in our corp, we're going to talk about standoff. Although that's trashing.
That's trash, not de-res. Yeah. And there's other things that, in the fact at least, doesn't trigger him. But still,
for 2 cost.
Well, 2 cost, it's connection.
You do it once, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
And it becomes a thing.
Well, and just like emergency shutdown, like, hey, now I got 2 more credits.
Absolutely. So, yep.
Not a bad card.
Nope.
We have another console. This one's for the Shaper. Again, 5 cost, 2 memory. First time you initiate a run on silver protected by 2 or more pieces of ice each turn. Draw 2 cards. Again, 1 console per player. I don't know if this is quite as good as Maui, but 2 cards is pretty good. You just have to hit something that has 2 pieces of ice.
Correct.
So,
in
the right Shaper deck,
yes,
it'll be a great fit.
And I think that's true with a lot of Shaper cards, really. I mean, it's true with any runner, but Shaper, you can do some really funky things. So, it really depends. The 2 memory helps big time.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm interested to see how Daredevil gets used. Taking risk is what makes life fun.
Well, and it looks like it's a sport bike shaped console.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, actually, I didn't.
Ride your computer.
Yeah. It's like those the arcade biker game.
Yeah. And then this looks like a fun icebreaker. It's pretty costly.
Yeah. See,
So,
I
8
saw
and
this
2
and I'm
memory.
like, really?
Yeah, but
You gotta use some cards, and there definitely are shaper cards to make this a lot better. You don't want to play this by itself, in my opinion.
no. Unless I don't know, you could.
Well, look, I'm getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah.
So it's 8 cost to install, which you can do things to make that not.
And it's also 2 memory, which
2 memory, yes.
is definitely a resource suck.
Yeah, but we just reviewed 2 consoles in here that give us 2 memory.
True, yeah.
So
whenever you use Mass Driver to break all subroutines on a piece of ice during a single encounter, the first 3 subroutines on the next ice you encounter do not resolve.
correct.
So,
Which is cool.
like, it's 1-to-1 on the strength, which is pretty good. It is 2-to-1 on the breaking of
Correct.
Code Gate.
I have a problem with the strength paying 8 credits for 1 strength ice, and then now you have to pay 2 to break the subroutines. Which just if you have a little bit more powerful ice with a 1-to-1, then you can just pay the credits on the next piece of ice.
But situationally, this can be amazing.
Correct.
Because if there's a Code Gate in front of like a really big or really nasty that has 3 or less subroutines, you don't even have to then pay to, let's say it's a really high strength, you don't have to pay to get the strength up
Correct.
and walk through it.
Right.
If they're just bad subroutines or for some reason as shaper, it shouldn't be an issue, but if you don't have the right breaker,
Right.
the Code Gate has to be there in front of it.
Well, it gives you a little bit more, confidence too, I would think, going in, on a run. Just if you hit a Code Gate, you don't know what the next piece of ice is. It's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yep.
I'm gonna continue the run. There's no reason not to.
And shapers generally can generate enough money either through Magnum Opus or other ways to get money.
Other sneaky shaper shenanigans.
So not usable in every deck, but I think it has potential.
Yes. And I swear I've seen this card art before. It seems like
it's similar to some other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this particular.
Well, no, I know that they haven't used this.
I mean, it looks a lot of the Constellation Ice, I think, is kind of similar. Kind of has a space feel.
Yeah, and it makes sense since it is the Mars.
And Mass Driver is a sort of a space thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, and that's the runner side.
Yeah, there's no neutrals.
No neutrals. Only the 1 or 2 shaper, 1 or 2. I think criminal got the most. I might be wrong on that. It might be pretty evenly split.
Yeah, pretty even.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Come down Tuesdays. We play CCGs. Netrunner's one of them.
Also on Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturdays as well. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, visit CollectorMania. Do whatever.
Facebook page.
Yeah, all the things.
That's where we talk about, hey, I'm going to make it. Come on down.
Yeah. So have a good one. Thanks for watching.
All right.